Hey everyone, I know that there's an interest in Commonplace books here on this site, so I wanted to share mine. I've been using it for a few years now, typically while I'm out of the house, and it's been really helpful for me to stay off my phone, rely a little bit less on technology, and also engage in the world around me a little bit more because I'm able to kind of sit down and write out my thoughts as I'm kind of exploring whatever I'm exploring, whether I'm going shopping, running errands, or kind of just sitting at a park bench or going to a cafe or hanging out with friends. It allows me to keep track of thoughts, notes, things to do, and also kind of brainstorm ideas, jot down things people say to me that resonate with me, everything like that. So I use a leather sleeve, or maybe a pleather sleeve. I got it off of Etsy. It's been really helpful for me to use a sleeve because it allows me to swap books in and out, and I'll show you in a second what that looks like. But yeah, I just found a business on Etsy that was selling this on sale. I wanted to support them because they were an independent business. I think it was a one-person show, honestly, and it was pretty cheap. And as you can see, I got my name imprinted on it. So the sleeve itself has three different parts. So the first one is a pocket on the side here that holds my field notes. So this is just kind of like a lined book that I use. Originally, I'd write down any thoughts whatsoever, but for the last little while, I've been playing around with tracking my daily tasks. That way, I can once again have an idea of what I need to do each day, but also spend a little bit less time on my phone. From there, you can see I have my Moleskine blank notes or my Moleskine plain notebook. I like a plain notebook because it allows me to do some sketching, as you can kind of see here, or here as well. I sketched this while I was at a wedding. But it also allows me to write down kind of ideas or concepts. I can use the pages how I see fit, and I can kind of just like play with it however I want. So it allows me some flexibility to kind of, yeah, do what I'd like with the book. And then finally at the end, on top of having this little sleeve with torn or separate pages, I have my cue cards that I tuck in here. So I have blank cue cards. I usually take a stack with me in the notebook, or I always have a stack with me there. And then I scribble things down and I save them in a separate section. So what you're looking at right now is a sort of daily routines idea. I have a learning plan for career development, and then I have stuff on content. But the idea is if I ever want to write something down independently and kind of swap it in or out or play with it on its own, this allows me the opportunity to do so. So I'll just kind of swap these in and out as the cards get used, and then I store them in my dresser, which is just behind me, in a little box or a little cloth box, so to speak, where I can swap cards in and out. So that's my Commonplace book. Like I said, or as an overview, I have my field notes, I have my Moleskine blank or plain, not lined, and then I have my cue cards. And that gives me a lot of flexibility in the use of my Commonplace book. And as I mentioned, I use it for all kinds of things, tracking my daily tasks, reflecting on things that I'm experiencing or thinking about, brainstorming ideas, writing down things I read or see that resonate with me, and then, of course, having those cue cards that allow me the opportunity to kind of explore a concept on its own. So, yeah, that's this. Hope you like it. Hope it gives you some ideas. If you have ideas for your own Commonplace book or you use your Commonplace book a little bit differently, leave a comment. I would love to hear what yours is and get some ideas for myself. I'm always looking to kind of play around with this or expand. So, yeah, thanks everyone. My hands look really weird on the camera from this view, but I'm just going to ignore that. See you next time.